And Jeremy, while I didn't do much running today, I did a lot of driving this morning across several counties, and I got to tell you, the weather was fantastic everywhere you went.
I know, and you know, those runners got an extra hour of sleep to be able to do the run, which is always a good thing, right?
Yeah, that helped me out this morning as well.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day to do any driving, any walking, any hiking, any running with nothing but sunshine and calm winds too today. But this is a very early sunset tonight. Before 5 p.m., I've got a view from our rooftop camera in Wilkes-Barre at the City Heights Apartments camera of this very first sunset with our new time. Look at it go, with hardly any clouds in the sky. What a gorgeous glow of orange and yellow that we had, and just a few clouds off towards the east. Otherwise, it was a beautiful sunset. Thank you, Yolani, our video coordinator, for rolling on this for me so that I could show it. And I love how the lights come on once the sun slips below the horizon there in Wilkes-Barre too, shining it up. Look at how they all come on pretty much at once. Really beautiful sight. Now here's the live view of Wilkes-Barre. We've got a lot more lights on now and no sunshine in the sky. As a matter of fact, just a day ago, 6 o'clock, there was still some glimmers of dusk in the sky. Certainly full nighttime now at 6 o'clock, so we're going to have to get used to that for sure. Daylight saving time ended today at 2 a.m. Did you check your smoke alarms? This is always a good time to do so, and your carbon monoxide detectors. Make sure they're working. They can be life-saving devices. We had an earlier sunset, but also an extra hour of sleep. Sunset tonight was at 4:56, and yes, folks, it gets worse from here. By the next 3 weeks, we lose another 20 minutes or so of daylight. By November 23rd, we have sunset at 4:37. The good news is the earliest sunset we have here in Scranton is 4:32, and then we start turning it the other way around mid-December. We start having sunsets later, but sunrises also later. That's how our day keeps getting shorter up until the winter solstice, and then we start turning things all the way around, and we get a much longer daytime once we start the new year. Now, when was the last time we had a sunset before 5 p.m.? If you take down the calendar pages, January 16th was the last time our sunset was before 5 p.m., which means you have to wait until January 16th, 2026 to have a sunset after 5 p.m. It's going to be a while, but hey, it's only 2 months, so I just got to get through the throes of winter before we can have our later sunsets once again. There's a live view of Pottsville. 51 is where we're at with calm winds. Those winds are less than 10 miles per hour across the board, a far cry from where we were yesterday. Temperatures even got above average today for the first time in quite a while. Got up to 60 in Selinsgrove and Williamsport, 58 for Scranton. And when you look back at the temperature history, only 3, if you include today, of the last 14 days were above average. So it's nice to see that once again. Temperatures right now in the 40s and 50s, still in the mid 50s for Lewisburg, 51 in Tower City. And we've got some clouds starting to fill in towards our east. There is a low pressure system starting to gain shape just towards our south, and it's going to head up parallel to the eastern seaboard. And there's also this low right now just north of the Great Lakes region. It's headed towards the east-southeast. This is how it's going to happen though, folks. They end up meeting just outside of our area, so we hardly get any impacts from either of these two systems. Just a few clouds tomorrow if you live east. So overnight tonight, mostly clear. There's the clouds from the coastal low pressure system. There are gale warnings in effect for the east coast because winds could be pretty high right along the coast. But here, we're not going to experience any of that. Headed into Monday, just the cloud cover over that stripe of the southern tier. Then we get a little bit of cloud cover over the northern tier from that passing system towards the north. But that's all we get, and then we're clear for your Election Day Tuesday. That's the impacts that we're getting from those two systems. So we actually are considered lucky for that. And it looks good to be able to see the full moon for the next few days. It's 90% full tonight. It's called the beaver moon because this is the time of year that beavers used to be trapped and hunted back in the 1800s. It's also the time of year that the beavers start to head back to their dens. Moonrise tonight was at 3:13. It's officially full on Wednesday at 8:19 p.m. and it's also known as the frosty moon for obvious reasons. We get a lot of frost in November, and it's also known as the digging or scratching moon because this is the time of year the squirrels and the other animals start digging at the soil. Now this full moon is very special. It's the biggest in our skies since 2019, so don't miss it. We don't get another one for another few years that is just this big. So it'll be beautiful to view, not just tonight, but tomorrow night, and it looks Tuesday night and Wednesday night too. There's your 7-day forecast. Chance for a sprinkle or two late Wednesday night, then we clear out and we're pretty breezy Thursday and Friday. Next chance for rain after that, Jack, looks like Saturday and Sunday, it's just a scattered risk, not so much a washout of a weekend.
A typical fall week ahead, though.
Yes.
Jeremy.
And Jack,
Yes.
I got to tell you,
Go right
we have
ahead.
a chance for some flurries next Monday.
Don't scare me
So-
with that news. Jeez, Jeremy. Well, thank you very much.
Yep.